Stop Caretaking the Borderline or Narcissist teaches you how to recognize when you've been pulled into an emotionally destructive dynamic where your sense of self becomes consumed by trying to manage another person's instability. The book shows how to identify distorted thinking, set healthy boundaries, and detach from the exhausting cycle of emotional rescue, blame, and manipulation. Most importantly, it empowers you to shift your focus inward, reclaiming your emotional clarity, independence, and self-worth, so you can build a calmer, more authentic life on your own terms. Understanding the caretaker role. This opening section lays the psychological and emotional groundwork, explaining the origins, dynamics, and dysfunctions of the caretaker role within relationships dominated by individuals with borderline personality disorder, BPD, or narcissistic personality disorder, NPD. What's happening in the relationship? Caretakers are typically stable, conscientious, emotionally attuned people drawn to chaos in others. The borderline or narcissist provides a chaos, a mix of love bombing, rage, neediness, and abandonment. These personalities cannot self-regulate and instead use projection, idealization, devaluation, and splitting to offload internal pain and confusion. The caretaker's emotional sensitivity and need to fix others pulls them deeper into this cycle. Relationships with BPs/NPs often feel like a roller coaster. Euphoric moments are interrupted by rages, disappearances, blame games, and suicidal threats. Fjelstad points out that this emotional instability is not simply quirky behavior. It's a result of developmental trauma and neurobiological dysfunction. The BP/NP is not seeking equality. They are seeking fusion or dominance. Caretakers, on the other hand, may come from emotionally dysfunctional families themselves. Their identity may be tied to helping or saving others. They learn to prioritize others' emotions above their own, often suppressing anger, avoiding conflict, and over-functioning to stabilize relationships. What distortions are present? Fjelstad outlines several cognitive and emotional distortions caretakers internalize. Believing they can fix the BP/NP. Assuming responsibility for the other's behavior or emotions. Confusing drama with intimacy. Viewing their own needs as secondary or unimportant. These distortions keep the caretaker stuck in a loop of guilt, obligation, and fear, the core emotional blackmail used by BPs and NPs to maintain control. Actionable takeaways from Section 1. Identify the drama triangle roles: victim, rescuer, persecutor, and your default role within it. Name the distortions you've internalized. Are you over-responsible? Do you fear conflict? Do you seek validation through caretaking? Begin observing behavior, not intent. The BP/NP may say they love you, but what are their consistent actions? Start journaling your reality. Factual reflection helps defog the confusion created by emotional manipulation. 2. Letting go of caretaking. The second section offers a map for stepping out of the emotional minefield. Rather than confronting the BP/NP with ultimatums, Fjelstad urges readers to shift their attention from managing the partner's emotions to reclaiming their own autonomy. Breaking the emotional contract. Caretakers are often enmeshed in silent contracts. If I love them enough, they'll change. If I stay calm, they'll become rational. If I rescue them, I'll feel whole. These beliefs need to be dismantled. Fjelstad frames this shift not as abandonment, but as an act of self-rescue. The goal is not to fix the relationship, but to fix the over-functioning dynamic. You stop caretaking, not out of spite, but to allow both people to experience their real emotional consequences. This is where boundaries begin, replacing the old patterns. Letting go involves 4 categories of healing. 1. Challenging internalized family rules. Many caretakers grew up believing love must be earned. Fjelstad urges the reader to examine early attachments and rewrite their core scripts. 2. Building new beliefs and behaviors. These include saying no, refusing to be drawn into emotional chaos, and learning to delay responses during high-conflict situations. 3. Developing self-confidence. Caretakers are often competent people outside the relationship. Reconnecting with that version of yourself is crucial. 4. Nurturing and self-care. This includes creating physical and emotional space from the BP/NP, restoring connections with friends and family, and identifying joy beyond crisis. Importantly, caretakers often feel selfish when stepping away from their duties. Fjelstad reframes self-care as the most responsible act one can take. Staying or leaving. Fjelstad does not insist on leaving the relationship. She offers criteria for either staying with strict emotional boundaries or leaving with safety and preparation. Whichever path you choose, it must prioritize your emotional sanity and physical well-being. Actionable takeaways from Section 2. Stop giving emotional rescue. Let the BP/NP own their feelings, even if it causes temporary distress. Write your own new rulebook. You are allowed to say no, disconnect, and have your own opinions and schedule. Rebuild your network. Reach out to people you lost contact with during the enmeshment. Begin emotional detachment rituals. This can be as simple as walking away from drama or limiting communication to logistics. Choose your exit strategy, whether emotional or physical, and commit to it. 3. Rebuilding. In the final section, Fjelstad guides readers through the process of reconstructing their lives after emotional enmeshment. This isn't just about survival. It's about restoration. The new you, emerging from the caretaker role, can feel disorienting. Without the constant crisis and emotional labor, you may feel empty or aimless. Fjelstad encourages readers to reconnect with what brings joy, calm, and meaning. This rebuilding is practical and emotional. Rediscover hobbies, friends, and professional goals. Explore your own identity independent of the BP/NP. Reestablish a relationship with your body. Many caretakers suffer from fatigue, chronic pain, or anxiety due to prolonged stress. This stage also means preparing for relapses. The BP/NP will resist your independence. They may escalate their tactics, love bombing, threats, shame, or helplessness, to draw you back in. Your job is to remain grounded in your new sense of self. Fjelstad emphasizes the concept of self-consistency. The goal is not perfection, but living according to your values, even when it's uncomfortable. Connection with others. Caretakers often isolate themselves due to shame, secrecy, or the controlling nature of the BP/NP. Part of healing is learning to trust others again, not just emotionally, but practically. This might mean setting boundaries in all your relationships, not just with the BP/NP. Accepting support without guilt. Allowing vulnerability without assuming you must give back immediately. Relationships become mutual, not transactional. Actionable takeaways from Section 3. Build a life that reflects your true values, not just your past survival strategies. Learn the difference between help and enablement. You can be compassionate without sacrificing yourself. Practice consistency. Don't just set boundaries, Maintain them even when it feels uncomfortable or when others disapprove. Celebrate emotional neutrality. A peaceful life may feel boring after chaos. Embrace the calm. Conclusion. The author's core message in action. Margalis Fjelstad's message is clear. Caretaking a borderline or narcissist doesn't help them, and it destroys you. Love doesn't require self-erasure. You cannot heal another person by absorbing their pain. True support only exists when both people take ownership of their emotions, needs, and actions. You have the right and responsibility to reclaim your life, even if it means disappointing, enraging, or abandoning the person who depends on your dysfunction. Final action step. Stop focusing on the BP/NP's needs and instead ask yourself one powerful question every day. What do I need right now? And how can I give that to myself? Then do it. Every single day. The path to peace is not paved with perfection or pleasing others. It's built through consistent self-honesty, emotional boundaries, and the courage to walk away from roles that shrink you.